And welcome to another edition of Thoughts of the Roundtable with me, Matt Rebar.
And me, Paul Laux.
And Raina is back.
Thank you. Happy to be
For
here.
round 2 with us.
I brought some questions this time.
See, when you texted us, so this is what happened. We totally were like, okay, next time we'll talk to Raina. She'll have her 10 questions for us. And Raina was not messing around. You were like, I have my 10 questions. And we were like, okay, well, we're just going to bring you on, like, right back.
I honestly forgot about him, to be totally honest. I was like, oh yeah, the people actually want to ask me things for once.
I'm actually
Nobody ever wants to ask me anything.
I'm actually really curious to hear what you both have to say for these questions.
You can probably see my smile because we're in Zoom right now. My smile, I'm like a Cheshire cat because I'm so intrigued to like what you're gonna ask and like, will I know what I'm gonna say and like, ooh, I'm excited.
These are questions that force you to be honest, I believe.
Ooh.
And
Well, I can lie about anything. Don't underestimate me.
Paul is a liar.
all right, 10 questions for Matt and Paul. 10
Okay.
thoughts for Matt and Paul.
Thoughts. Huh.
All right. Question 1. What is one bad habit you've started during quarantine?
Just one of them?
I'm trying to think of people I know who I'm going to go as far as saying they just stop washing their hands altogether. Everybody's habits go down. Everybody's habits, are good habits. Or you have a good habit.
So
My OCD's been out of control. I'll say that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's been driving me nuts.
What has been?
I do this stupid new thing where I have to like blink every time I open a door. It's like so dumb. I hate it. It's the worst. Basically because the anxiety's through the roof. So I guess my bad habit would be all of my habits.
The bad habit is anxiety. Yep, I can relate
Basically.
to that, though. That's so relatable.
So for the first like 2 months of quarantine, this is probably like what, March, April, February, I don't even know. But back then, I was buying a frozen Sara Lee pie like every 4 days. Like I went through like 8 of those pies. I was so stressed.
I have my habit. Ben and Jerry's. I bought a crap ton of Ben and Jerry's.
Did you?
Ben and
Yeah,
Jerry's.
that was bad.
I think it was just because like I'm the kind of person like likes to like judge things. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna get the banana cream pie, and then I'm gonna get the coconut, and then I'm gonna try, the lemon meringue, and so it just kind of spiraled for a second, but then I kind of like got it together.
Yeah,
And now that I'm
Sorry,
saying this
what?
out loud, now that I'm saying like I'm craving a Sara Lee pie right now. Like I really want to like drive to Giant Eagle after this and get pie.
Yeah, I had to knock it off for real because I was having like one a week, which doesn't sound like, but for me doing none for like years and then one a week, it was bad.
Wait,
like I could see my shirts getting tighter.
You were
so
having
it
a
was
whole
not
gallon a week of ice cream, or
good. God, no, not a gallon. One of those little tiny ones.
oh, the
I
pint?
think I am. My
Oh,
God.
I have one of those pints like in one day. That's easy.
Like
No,
Haagen-Dazs
one a-
size? Or...
Yeah, like those personal ones.
Psh, I can knock back one of those in one sitting, no
Oh,
problem.
yeah.
No, yeah.
I'm like an ice cream queen. Like, and Raina's from
An ice
Wisconsin.
queen?
Like, if you can't
Wait.
have a pint of ice cream and you're from Wisconsin, there's something
Can
wrong.
I call you the Ice Queen? Ice Queen.
You may.
I'm Elsa.
Sorry,
That's a compliment.
Well, Raina, what about you? What was your bad habit in quarantine?
Ooh, well,
Talking to us.
Paul's really relates to. I mean, that is true. I started like swearing to myself a lot more, and like, my bad habit probably is, okay.
Gambling.
No, not
No, okay.
gambling. My bad habit would probably be like freaking out about like bugs, and we had a mouse in the house.
Oh.
So I've been like over like not agoraphobia is like staying inside, but it's like the fear of living inside with other living things.
That's a thing?
I guess. I don't know. Is that a real phobia?
That has to be.
There's
that,
phobias
that
for
sounds
everything.
really. That sounds like something I would have. Because like with
Yeah.
my new
Yeah.
house, there's like some spiders and bugs, and I'm like, listen, I'm not like against you guys, but like I need you to leave. Like I'm like I can't have you be here. It just.
There's probably a phobia of being on a decently successful podcast, but don't worry, you don't have to worry about that one here. Sorry.
No, humble beginnings.
And
Humble
humble
beginnings.
and humble middles and humble ends.
Oh Lord.
Oh man.
Sorry.
I will say one positive thing though with quarantine. I was hiking like every day
Oh, me
for like
too.
2 months.
I've been around so many of the metro parks. We really don't take the metro parks. Like, people need to take that more seriously. Metro park, we have a jewel around here with those things.
I see a lot of people taking them seriously now because they're always super crowded. And I don't blame
Yeah,
people.
they were.
Yeah,
I don't
they were
blame
so
people,
crowded.
Of course, but it's
Well, I
just
mean, what
like,
else are you going to do? You think, oh, I'll go take a walk in the park, but because I can't be around people, but then everyone does that. So
Yeah.
whatever.
It's just a matter of going at certain times a day.
Middle of the night.
Yeah. Gotta
2 a.m. jog.
pitch
Dark
black.
clothing.
Even
Dark
the teens
clothing.
aren't there.
Hood up.
Even when the teens aren't there.
Oh my god.
Doing who knows what, etching their initials in rocks and
I really didn't have a
Rocks.
teenage.
In rocks?
Yeah, of
or
course.
the bluffs or so. There's like
Yeah.
which place? There's
The
something.
ledges. The ledges. You're talking about the
Yeah.
ledges. Yeah.
Thank
yeah.
you.
It's still fun. It's just so funny, the logic. It's like all these trees around you. Let's etch our name in the
I,
tree.
I
No,
think,
let's
Paul,
do
you're
a
thinking of like small rocks. Well,
The
like
rock.
Raina means big rocks, and people totally write
I
their
know,
names
but
in big
do you know
rocks.
how long that's going to take?
Yeah, it
Can't
takes.
do that.
But you're a teenager. What else you got? You go to the mall? I don't know.
Yes.
Not during
Call it
quarantine,
hooligans.
sis. Can't go to
Be
the mall.
generic hooligans.
You can't
All
just
right,
do
go
it
on.
around.
Let's move on.
How often do you? I have fall here. How often do you fall victim to Facebook ads?
In what way?
If you see a Facebook ad, do you buy it?
I've
I've
never,
never- Sometimes.
I've never done it.
that.
But there's been times where like things are promoted that are like creative. It'll be like, oh, it's the making this up, the Cleveland Art sponsored thing, and it's like submit your art to like Cleveland Art Week or whatever. And that stuff I
Ooh.
follow up on. If it's stuff that I'm like, oh, like this is something I'm like, you know, it's cool. But like I've never been like Facebook's like, here's a sandal, and I've been like, yes, let me buy that.
I've never fallen for a Facebook ad ever. And usually my Facebook ads that I've seen recently, like, I don't understand why they do this, but it'll be for like Photoshop. I already own Photoshop. Why are you giving me an ad for Photoshop? What do we do? Like, buy it twice? I'm not doing that.
I was
so-
just telling Paul
I don't
though,
understand.
I was kind of like flirting with the idea of getting a new laptop because my laptop's fine. It's just the battery life is kind of like wah wah. And Groupon has been giving me insane. I'm like, Groupon's listening to me right now because Groupon has been Grouponing me with all these laptop deals. It's crazy.
Grouponing you. Yeah, I'm the opposite. I have bought. And I'm so surprised, and I don't know how I feel
Sucker.
about that. No, everything that I've bought though has been stuff that I actually do need, and it's not. There's been a lot of stuff I've been very tempted. I mean, I get some pretty cool stuff though. Like, there's this one. It's a light, and it actually says you'll both appreciate this. It says on air, and you can like
I have
set
one
it up
of those
outside.
sitting right next
And
to
it's
me.
just, I think
I've-
it's like battery power or charged or something like that, and you can flip it on when like you're on.
I
I
want
literally
one of
have
those.
that. I have that sitting.
I
I have it
know.
literally sitting next to me.
Well,
Oh,
now that we've
man.
talked about it, Facebook's going to give me an ad in the next 2 days. Bet
They
your
will.
money. Bet
They
right
will.
now.
Mm-hmm.
I will get an ad for an on-air sign, and the second I do it, I'm going to text you guys about it.
I'll do it too. Facebook. I want an ad for a on-air sign.
Like at Facebook? like
give
they're
me
listening.
one.
Facebook?
Please give me one.
Sometimes
Mr.
I
Zart,
wonder.
Mark, give me some Zuck bucks. I want to buy one of those.
Mark
The
Zuckerberg.
year is 2050, and the economy is based on Zuck bucks. Can you imagine?
Have you seen that random meme going around? Said like this image to get 20 Zuck bucks, and it's just a weird edited picture of Mark Zuckerberg.
I've not seen it, but I'm not surprised that you see it because you come across the weirdest memes. Like, I swear.
There's some corners of the internet that I look at that are hilariously strange.
I
Yeah.
love it.
All right,
Anyway.
question 3.
What's your jam?
9 minutes in.
What have you been listening to lately?
Ooh, lately?
Just in general, what's on your on your radio?
Matt,
Or
you can go
what's on
first.
your-
I got to get into them.
I've been listening to Lady Gaga's Chromatica, came out in May. That's still a huge listen for me. Raina, I'm gonna mess up her last name. Raina Samawara came out with her debut album, and it's like 2000s pop meets like a little like heavy metal, little rock, little like bubblegum dance pop, and it's beautiful. I've been listening to that a lot. Yeah, I'm all over the place. You know, I've been listening to podcasts, audiobooks. I'm currently reading the book about the Golden State Killer by Michelle McNamara. So, like, I've been
Wow.
listening to that. I mean, you know, I love absorbing audio. Like, that's literally what I do for a living, and, like, what I do for, like, passion is just, like, absorbing audio. So, yeah, a lot of different things.
I have been listening to a lot of podcasts lately. I've been listening to one. It's a couple of years old now, but it's nice because all the episodes are there. It's going through all the history of all the presidents, and from beginning to end. And so you learn a lot of. It's done by the Washington Post. It's called Presidential. It's pretty cool. And it goes through every single president and talks about them. There's a couple I forgot exist, like Chester A. Arthur. Who the hell remembers that guy? But anyways, music wise, I've literally. I usually don't do this. Usually I listen to a lot of things at once. But for some reason, I've been zoning on this band that I used to listen to a while ago, and I've been kind of zoning in them again. This band called Tally Hall. They're kind of unknown. I only found them because of this one random song that was used in a video I found called Banana Man, which they wrote to basically explain what a acid trip feels like. It's very odd. And but you two would probably like the band. They're pretty good. And they broke up years ago, and they only came out with 2 albums, but it's pretty good.
There's something so beautiful about a band that like has 2 really good albums, or 3 really good albums, and then bam, they're gone. And
I don't like that though, because you want more.
But it's so beautifully haunting. Like what could have been, and like I don't know.
It is true, because I mean, they weren't a small band. It's just they're like they're like C+ level.
Yeah.
And so I mean, they had a pretty good fan base, but it is kind of sad. It's like, what could have happened if they made one more? What would have gotten to that next level or something? But then you listen to it, it's like it bums you out, because you're like, well, this is gonna be it. There's not gonna be any more. You remember? You know what? The band LMFAO. Remember them?
Yes. I think band is a little. They were like a DJ duo. I wouldn't say they were a band, but
I didn't realize because
they broke up.
This out, and I thought it was, yeah, but I thought it was hilarious. They made a their first album was called Party Rockin'. Remember Party Rock? Mm-hmm. They made their second album was Sorry for Party Rockin', and then they just never made anything else.
Yeah.
So it's like Party Rock, and then Sorry for Party Rocking, and then just never made.
Here's what's so insane.
They made an
to me.
album,
like,
and they're like, sorry for that.
They
album.
literally had
just
2 huge hits, because they had the Party Rock Anthem and Sexy and I Know It, and then they broke up. And you're like, dude, you could have at least tried to like make another album of like, you might have got another hit or 2. Like, think of that royalty money. Who walks away? I don't know. I think they're like brothers, but
They don't seem.
Weren't they
very,
related?
I thought
Wasn't
they
it
were.
an uncle? I think it was an uncle and nephew.
Oh, maybe that's what the connection was.
I think it was.
But
All right.
Anywho.
Anyways, moving on.
They
Moving
both seem
on.
very unstable.
We're 13 minutes in. We were going to question the 3.
yeah, I love
We'd
it.
have to break them up. Well, we'd have to bring up a couple up for next time.
Yeah,
We'll see how we roll. I feel like we can. It might be an extra long episode, but I don't know if people were gonna be like, "Oh, that 2-part episode with the 10 questions."
You never know.
Like
do
on the
yoga.
next time, what Raina's questions get harder.
We'll do rapid fire at the end. No, we'll put money on next time. We can actually lose money.
But this goes to show you how good the questions are. Because if the questions weren't good, we wouldn't be talking about them.
hey, appreciated. Yeah, we
That's a
we
compliment.
don't have to do them all.
No,
10 questions.
we're gonna go for it. We are gonna go for it. We got this. I
Okay.
believe in us.
What's one thing you tell people you're an expert at, but you actually know nothing about, or you're not as much as an expert as you say? Matt is rolling over.
Because I didn't know where this question was going, and I enjoyed the way it went. Because I was like, my first thought was, okay, I'm an expert at writing, because I've been doing writing since I was 7 years old. But then you were like, an expert that you're not an expert in. I think one thing that people probably think I'm better at than I am like when you're talking to guy, when you're on the dating apps, I love working out. I genuinely love working out. I work out like 10 to 12, 14 hours a week, but I really don't know, like, don't ask me about like, oh, like what's the best like stretch or like, do this, do that. Like I am really bad at like knowing like the science of working out and like actually like how to effectively work out. Like I still like doubt myself if I'm doing exercises right. Like I'm like, I feel like this is right. Like question mark, like looking around the room to like see if anyone's looking at me weird because like I'm messing up the machine. But I would say working out. Like I feel like I've put in a lot of time, but like definitely don't feel like I'm anywhere near like being successful with it. Perhaps.
You describe my fears of the gym. I hate
People
the
looking
gym.
at you and like
Phobia.
like that's not how
Yeah.
you lift that,
Flex phobia.
Exactly. Yes. Like
It's so weird with Planet Fitness because I thought like with Planet Fitness there wouldn't be like any gym hunk, kind of like lift bros. There's a lot. I'm like, you guys go to LA Fitness, please. Like, leave me alone.
yeah, seriously.
What about you, Paul?
I would have to say cardiovascular surgery.
What?
And
Have you told
You went
people that
all
you're a
out.
master in that?
yeah, when I screwed it up the first time, I kind of had to admit that I really didn't know what I was doing.
Explains so much.
No, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I don't really tell anybody I'm an expert in anything. I'm not really an expert in anything.
When I think of Paul, an expert, I think of you with your memes. I think you're an expert
That's
of
not
memes.
an expertise.
Anything can be an expertise. And
Finding stupid crap online isn't an expertise. It's just being bored and finding stupid crap
so
online.
you're allowed to be an expertise in whatever you want to be an expertise in.
I can find some funny stuff.
You're
man.
really
I will
good at
admit
like
that.
home DIY stuff.
Yeah, I am. You know what? I've been actually been. I shouldn't say I'm an expert, but I might tell people I'm pretty good at. But I could always learn is, and it's a really weird hobby. But I've been using my ham radio a lot, and it's really cool to like
Oh,
talk to random
yes.
people.
Wow.
It's fun. I know it's like an old dude hobby. Like,
I was just about to say
But-
it's old man Paul, but I love it.
but it's. I mean, I'm into radio. Been in radio forever, so I'm working. And ham radios isn't that big of a jump. But it's. I was scanning actually through the frequencies the other day and found Walmart, so that was fun.
What?
So, yeah, I didn't know they had their own frequency, but they do.
You're like listening
you
for
go.
the Black Friday deals, like what's on sale?
No, it was
An
just
air
stupid,
fryer
like,
for
before-
$20.
It was like I think you took the chips into the toilet. Like it's just stupid stuff like that.
Don't take the chips into the toilet.
Raina, what are you a master but yet non-master of?
Home repair.
Really? Do people see you as like the home repair queen?
And no, well, okay. So like, I live in like a terrible apartment, and the tub, the tub is like kind of splitting from the wall, and it's just like it's like
Oh, that's not good.
plastic, and it's just
okay.
like it's just like the house is like shifting.
You're gonna be in
Some
like
ways.
that cartoon Ross in the tubs outside, and you're like scrubbing like in the yard.
I think of the
water's
Family
dripping.
Guy with like Cleveland that's like in the bath. It's like no,
Yeah,
no,
it's gonna be
and it
Raina.
explodes. Sorry, Raina, we don't mean to induce fear,
no,
but
no,
please
no.
continue. Please continue.
So it needed to be like sealed because I was washing it, and then it kind of like this crack kind of started happening. I actually bleached it, and the bleach didn't do anything, but it's like that rubber kind of like seal around showers and stuff. Well,
Caulk.
caulk, yeah. So I bought.
Wait, is it really called that? But it was chalk.
No, it's caulk.
Okay, that's unacceptable. Moving on. Raina.
So I thought I bought caulk, but I bought like spackle because it was advertised.
That's not even
like,
remotely. They don't even remotely look the same.
They
One
came
comes in
in
a
a
tube and
tube.
one comes in a tub.
No, they were both in a tube. Because with the
What are you talking about?
No, no.
That spackle does not come in a tube.
at Home Depot, it comes in a tube. I swear.
No, it does not. I was
Yes,
just at
it
Home Depot.
Raina walks in and is like, I'm here at the Home Depot for my tub of cock.
There is no way that it came in a tube.
Okay, I thought it was caulk. It was something.
Text me a
Because
picture
it was
of
not
this.
rubber.
Please.
Because it wasn't rubber. You know what I'm saying? It was chalky.
Caulk isn't rubber either.
It was chalky. Well, this cock was not working because
You didn't buy a cock.
Matt is wheezing.
It's so immature of
I
me,
don't know
but
what you bought. I'm not even convinced you went to Home Depot.
Okay, I will check and follow up on the next.
Can you
week.
please send me a picture of this? Text me a
Yes.
picture. I swear to God, I need to see this.
I will.
I just have like Raina holding the tub, like this cock isn't working. At Home Depot.
God.
I know exactly what you're talking about, Paul. It's not.
That's like saying I
It's
bought cheese
normally
in a box.
is.
It's like
It
cheese doesn't
normally-
come in a box.
Oh, this has been delightful.
I need a picture. Please send me a picture of this. I need to know what you bought.
I will
I'm so
definitely.
confused.
I will. I
Again,
will.
I'm literally not even convinced you went to Home Depot. You're like maybe at Home Goods. Like the
Home
word
Goods.
home was in the title and you thought good.
I'm in the cock department.
You just like that word. You know anything else?
It just like who, like what came? I don't know. I'm so immature. I apologize.
Well,
You know you live in a state where we have Pee Creek, right?
Yes, can we go visit Pee Creek? It's a legit thing, Raina.
It is.
pee-pee.
It's a creek
Pee
called Pee Creek.
Yeah, Pee Creek.
Oh,
There's
right.
a bike trail that goes from Poo Poo Falls to Pee Creek. I swear to God.
There
that's
is a trail. It's we're not making this up. I swear. All right, moving
That's
on.
probably like that's probably like a trek that people take. No, poo poo.
It's like going to Mecca.
Yeah, a mecca. Yes, that's exactly. When is the last time you, like saw somebody? Tonight, for example, I just went to, for the first. This is the second time I've ever visited. No, third time I've ever visited people. Was eating s'mores, and we had like individual
Oh,
s'mores.
it sounds so fun.
And the fire and the wind, because I was like, well, it's gonna like break up in the wind, the breeze or whatever. I don't know, the bad air.
The
Go the
s'more. I
bad
thought you
air.
meant the s'mores break up and then we launch
Oh,
them
no.
at each other.
No, it was we just made s'mores.
So I actually.
saw-
Oh, go ahead, Paul.
I saw my in-laws tonight. But that's pretty much. I haven't seen friends in. Oh God, I
I know.
literally don't even remember how long.
Yeah, I don't know why we really did this, honestly, but literally before today, I would have been like, oh, months ago. But
Really, wow.
something happened. Today,
I did
so-
a comedy
I'm bragging.
show yesterday, but no worries, it wasn't that packed.
I thought you were gonna say no worries. It wasn't that
No.
funny.
No, it was like, well, here's the thing. It was a controversial comedy show, and most of my comedy is like quirky humor. So like I had to write up all this stuff that was like controversial, and like I think it was okay. It wasn't too bad. Like it was still me, but like felt a little edgy, I guess. So
That's good though. Push the limits.
pushing to the limit. Okay, I'll stop.
What number are we on?
Is this question 6, 7?
I don't know. I jumped around on my list.
Ooh.
What
I think I have a
is-
crying baby on my hands. I'm not sure.
Uh-oh.
Can't tell.
I was-
Just move on.
I was gonna say who's the biggest crybaby in the house? Paul, is it the baby?
It's literally my baby.
That
Quite
wasn't
literally.
that wasn't on my questions list. That was
I mean, there's no doubt about it. She's the biggest attitude I've ever seen.
oh my god.
Well,
Have
comes
I
from her
started-
dad.
I got to tell you a story real quick. So she was
this
playing,
will count as
she was-
question 6.
She was crawling and started pulling on a electric cord, and so obviously I told her, I was like, knock it off. And so she stopped and looked at me, and then she went and started pulling. And I was like, knock it off. And then she looked at me and just started pounding her fists on the ground. Like she was so mad at me that I wouldn't let her.
She
touch
pulled
the
like a King
electric
Kong, like this is
She
my
did. She went
cord.
thump, thump, like with her hand. Like I was like, listen, you gotta cut this attitude, little one.
Not in my 3-bedroom part of my house. You don't.
All right, Matt. What about you?
About who's a bigger crybaby, you or the baby?
Biggest crybaby.
Well, I haven't
not
met
me,
your
you.
child, so I don't know.
Not me, you idiot. Answer the question.
Like, wait, what's the question again? It's
It was situational for the baby.
okay.
But
Oh, okay.
yeah,
no worry.
have I cried more? No.
I am the
It's
kind of
been
crier that like I will cry
Matt, I got a
once every
question for you.
3 months, and like it's one of those things where like once I once it's like okay, I'm about to cry, like my quarterly cry, it's like terrible. It's like monsoon season. Like,
Here, I gotta ask. I'll change the question for Matt. What was the last thing you cried about?
Ooh.
You don't have to answer, but
I think it was at work. It was like a really stressful day, and like I think it was at work, and I just like cried. Maybe I'm trying to think. I can't think of any. Oh man, I don't think I've cried since last year. I think I've been so numb this year. Like my emotion this year has just been numb. Like I've just been numb and just like paralyzed emotionally. So.
True. Yep.
But I remember, I think the last time I was at work, and I just felt like, remember when you feel like the little baby tears, and then for me, like I feel little baby tears, and I'm like, oh no, it's about to come, like it's about to like hammer hard. That's the kind of crier I am. Like starts off like little, and then it's just like flood. So
The build up.
the build up, the release.
What's been your favorite meal in the past few weeks, months, days, whatever? We've been getting.
I had condado tacos yesterday.
Oh my god,
Oh,
that's
you know what I was
literally
gonna say?
my answer too.
Tacos.
I've been obsessed with the
Wait,
build
is
your own
all-
tacos.
All
Or build
three
your
of our
nachos.
answers-
Wasn't that good?
All three of our answers are tacos. I was gonna say the tacos from Costco. What?
Oh my
Get?
god,
Are you
that's
serious?
amazing.
All
Well, actually,
three of our answers are tacos. You two have the same.
well, mine's the Condados build your own nachos.
Oh god, that's
And
good.
they're
I just had
$7.50.
Condados yesterday.
$7.50, and it's literally enough nachos to feed a family. And it's like the best deal. Like I get it with the brisket and like the tomato and the slaw and the onion and like the queso. Phenomenal.
Oh wow.
So good.
All I get is the
Hold on,
Costco
hold on,
one that
talk-
comes in the tray.
Are the
Talk
Costco
amongst
ones?
yourselves.
Oh, are the Costco ones, Raina, the ones where it's like the thin tray and you get like the shells and the meat and all of that?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. I've never gotten it, but I've always wondered, is it good? So what's the verdict?
So good. It has this lime sauce.
Oh.
And it's delicious. Yeah, those are amazing. That's like, but the thing about Costco is that like you end up eating the same things all the time.
That's
Which is
what.
fine. If you like that, which I do. I'm from Wisconsin. We're
Yeah.
farmers. We're pretty plain, and we have our habits and our ways. And
See, I get into like moods where like I will shop at like right now I'm in an Aldi's mood. So like I shop at Aldi's.
Yes.
Like eventually I'm gonna get like I'm actually kind of sick of Aldi's right now. So like I'll probably move back to Costco or Trader Joe's. But when I do my Trader Joe's, I love getting those giant salads. Or at Costco. At Costco, I love those giant salads.
yes,
And I'll just use those. And I love they have the they'll have like the Mediterranean chicken skewers and stuff like that. I love that.
yes,
So
that stuff is so good.
so good.
Let's see. We kind of went over like buying and spending. I have that kind of on here twice. Last one you did was visiting people. Have you ever been lost? Have you ever been lost?
Like physically lost or emotionally, mentally.
Mentally, yeah.
We'll give
most-
give you full interpretation, however you want to take
Physically, I don't think I've ever been lost. I am so good at like, I may not know exactly how to get somewhere, but once I've gotten there, I know how to get back. Does that make sense?
that. Completely.
Like I'm really good at like mapping it out. Like, okay, this is what I took to get here, and like so if I, God forbid, like my phone got buried in the swamp, like I know probably how to get back. But I mean, I feel like I'm always like mentally, I wouldn't say mentally, but spiritually lost, but like in a good way. Like I always feel like I'm like, what's next? So, and in a way, I think that like not all who wander are lost, and so like there might be that interpretation of like I feel lost, but in a sense I'm just wandering.
Yeah.
So that's my little
That's nice.
philosophical take on the question today.
Yeah, good little outlook.
What about you, Paul?
I mean,
Have I ever been lost?
Mm-hmm.
No.
no. Paul's such a straight shooter.
Paul
straight shooter.
is like, don't pick up my electrical cords, and no, I've
I'm
not
trying
been
to think.
lost.
I almost got lost driving from Las Vegas to where was I driving to?
Ooh, unlimited minutes.
Yosemite. Yeah.
Yosemite.
What happened?
Oh, nothing. Just a pop up. on Zoom.
Yeah, Zoom was
Yeah,
like,
I got-
girls, we're giving you more time. And I was like, oh, okay. I didn't know this was a timed
Thank
meeting.
you. Yeah, right.
You just want to shut down. I'd be like, what?
We were gonna
I
kick
got-
you out, but we decided not to.
They're like, you
I
guys
got
were like
lost in the
fun.
yin.
Zoom was like,
got
this is
lost-
like a really fun convo right
Sorry,
now.
Paul.
And I really want to know like what the deal is.
All right, Paul, you have the floor.
Yeah, I got lost in California driving on the highway once, and no cell signal,
Ooh.
and the GPS didn't work because it was a new highway, so that was a little
Ooh.
scary. Lasted about 3 hours, but we figured it out.
Oh my God, that's a lot of scary.
It was a long time driving in the desert that you didn't know where you're going, but we figured it out.
That would be the worst place to get lost is the desert. I feel like that's not a great place to get lost.
It was not comforting. I will give you that. It was not a good time.
Being in the car. Have I been lost?
Okay.
I mean, I'm a wanderer myself, I guess. I like whenever I'm in stores and stuff, I'm like, oh yeah, like I'll be over here. But then I always lose. I don't get lost. I lose track of people.
Ooh. I
You
like
know what I'm
that.
saying? Yeah, but I have like good, like what's it called? Like, I'm really good at knowing like my surroundings and stuff. Like,
Spatial, like
Spatial.
knowledge.
yeah. I like that kind of stuff. So like I'm pretty good at that.
I'm
I
either,
like
like-
to think I am.
Yeah. I'm either like really good at that or really bad at that. Like I could be so
Yeah.
focused in my work and someone's like, "Hey Matt," and I'm like, "Ah," but, you know, or like the opposite where I'm like, "Oh, that lady over there with the blah, blah," and like I don't know. It's hit and miss for me, but
Yeah, yeah, I feel that for sure. And then I just have root beer floats with a question mark.
you know, if it's a diet root beer, yes, but like regular root beer, I'm like I just all that sugar is like gonna make me sick, I think. So
I've never had one in my life.
what?
Ever.
What?
No, I know. I don't like pop at all. I've never had a can of pop in my life.
That is so bourgeois of you to not have pop.
I hate it.
How? It's just because it's
I've
too
taken-
sparkly. It's too.
I've taken a couple sips of pop over the years, but I've never. I hate it so much. I've never had.
Do you like sparkling water?
No.
Okay, so it's like the effervescentness of it.
Literally, the only thing I drink is water. I
Drink well
so
water.
No, just water. Well water.
I can, okay,
this
but to
woman
be
over
fair, in Raina's defense, I can see Paul in the backyard at the well, being like, "All these kids with their soda, you know, it tastes like nothing
I-
compared to my well water."
I drink so much water that I actually had a doctor once tell me I drink too much water. I've been told that.
Do you think that how many times in her life as a doctor has she had to say that?
She said it's rare. She even told me, she goes, I don't usually say this, but knock it off with the water.
She's like, I usually
like,
do
what?
encourage people to actually take sips of water in general, but you are a water fiend, my friend.
I was like overhydrated. It was so weird. Pee like a sea biscuit, 7 times a day.
No, I feel like there needs to be like a government PSA about overhydration starring you. Because like I feel like there's like
Talking to the literal 7 people in the United States who do it.
because like I feel like there's ads that's like drink water, like water is important, and like it's like you're like don't drink too much.
The audience of the audience of this podcast would be larger than the PSA that was aimed at.
Coming next week is our PSA sponsored by the podcast. It's the Thoughts of the Round Table. Don't drink too much water. PSA.
But it would have to be like super edited. Spend like $30,000 in the editing of just like beautiful for like a
Okay.
30-second PSA.
Picture it. PSA. It opens with like running water sound, and it's like, yeah, that's water, and it's beautiful. But did you know? And it's like dun dun. It could be
fades to
deadly.
black real quick.
Yeah, the fade or like the negative. Like I love when documentary. It's like slow zoom on the photo of like the guy who killed the wife, and then boom, the photo goes negative.
Either that or it goes to black. It goes to
Black and white.
and it's me just fumbling around.
Did he kill her? Dun dun. Black and white photo. He did. Anyway, okay, we're talking too much specifically about a PSA that we are not being sponsored for. So,
PSAs
Check,
aren't sponsored.
please.
what about you, Raina? Root beer floats? Question mark.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. I love
Have
them.
you-
I
have
had
you
one
had-
today.
Have you had like they'll do like Sprite, they'll use like Pepsi, they'll use like cherry soda or like grape soda.
Well, root beer is my favorite pop. I was very
Really?
biased on that question. Yeah, I love root beer. It's my initials. No, I'm just. I mean, that's not.
Oh.
What
I was like a conspiracy theory, like, oh my god.
I have to.
For a second, I was like, your last name doesn't start with an F.
It's like her secret, like that's when she goes home and discovers, like in the attic, there's like a doc. It's like, oh, my last name, it's actually Fuller. It's like RBF.
No, it's actually Float.
Explains everything. My whole life.
Ancestry.com.
Can you imagine if your middle name was Beer?
Ooh, a lot
I
of
missed a
people
beer
love
float.
that.
I'm Richard Beer Montgomery from the commission. Gosh, there's some really fun names out there that I get jealous of. Do you ever hear
Jim
a name?
Shorts.
Do you ever hear a name and you just get jealous of that name? That's like such a good name.
I know a kid. I'll have to share this podcast because he'll get a kick out of this. I know a kid named Nick Knox.
Nick Knox. Oh my God, that's a really good name.
It
What?
works on so many levels because it's like Nick Knock,
His
Nick
name
Knack.
is Nick Knox.
You know, I was even thinking like, hey, like you're knocking, right? Wow. Oh, and you know what's? This is really weird. I was listening to Rihanna by Fleetwood Mac today, and Apple Music said it was written by Stephanie Nicks, and I'm like, is that like a legit thing? I thought it was always Stevie. I don't know.
Yeah.
Her
ooh.
legal name's Stephanie.
Yeah, I learned that today.
Oh.
I always thought it was like Stevie Nicks. I'd never thought it was Stephanie. You know.
Isn't Stephanie the name of Lady Gaga? Isn't she Stephanie?
Stefani.
something?
Stefani.
Is it really?
Mm-hmm.
What's her last name?
Germanata? It's very Italian.
Yeah, that's why it's a G.
It's very Olive Garden. The entire family eats. The entire family eats here.
Where you're here, your family.
Yeah, there we go. Oh, I messed up. As always. Raina, is that all the questions?
Yes.
Do you have a bonus
is.
question? Is there like a final question?
I'm just writing up follow-up topics for next week.
I gotta bring this up because I didn't want to do the weird news today because we weren't gonna have time, but I gotta bring this up.
Okay.
Because I want to hear what you guys think about it because this is the weirdest thing I've ever heard. So I didn't know this, but in the UK, they have people in tiers, I guess, for like risk of like coronavirus, and I don't really understand the tiers, but and I guess tier 2 is people who don't live together. And I guess the UK is banning people in tier 2 from having sex. So literally, it's now like borderline illegal to have sex with people who you don't directly live with. And it's like the strangest law
Wow.
I've ever seen. Like, I was like, how in the hell would you even enforce that?
I feel like it's a lot of undercover cops at like the bars.
It's a trust system. It's a trust
It's like,
system.
hi,
It's up to you to
I'm-
It's like-
report.
Like, hi, do you
But
want to
it's
go
like, how
home
would
with
you
me?
even-
And then it's like,
How would that even remotely work? Like, even remotely?
It's an honor
Okay,
system.
no answer.
No. It's an honor system. They have to, if you break the rule, you have to walk in and say, I'm sorry.
They just spank you. You're already naked.
you have to say, I'm sorry, and that's it. You have to, I'm sorry.
No, you have to walk into
Like,
the court
oh,
and say,
man.
LOL, my bad.
You have to do like a pouty face, like, I'm sorry. I'm messed up.
And then they push you into the ocean.
Can you imagine if that's how it worked? You just had to sincerely apologize, and it was like, I'm sorry for burning down 10 buildings.
Here's my tweet of the week. I absolutely love this. This might be the month. So someone who tweeted said, I was at Disney World and I heard someone cough, but then Mickey Mouse took him behind a building and I heard a gunshot, but they told me it was unrelated.
Oh my God.
Oh my god. By the way, who wants to go to Disney World right now? I cannot believe that people are like, I want to go to
Kids.
Disney World. I'm like, that's the last place I'd want to go. All those kids
I
running
want to
around.
go there when it's not a pandemic.
Right? Like, I don't even want to go.
I don't want to go to Florida.
Like, I get like people who are like, okay, I'm just gonna like, take a plane to Maine and just camp for a week. Okay, that's not a big, but like, who wants to go to Disney World in a pandemic? I can't get it. I can't. My mind.
Who wants to go to Florida? No one.
In general.
No one wants to go to Florida.
Hey, you know what?
But-
We better be pro Florida because they might be voting blue this year. So we need to be very careful with that. We don't want to.
What?
We don't want
Whoa.
to. I know. We don't want to. We don't want to sway our Floridians who listen.
Hey, just FYI, my computer's about to die. So
What a great place to wrap it up, Raina. Thank you so much for your 10 questions. This was delightful.
Yes.
thank you so much.
Are
And
we
we'll
on
ha-
part 1 or 2?
This, you know what? I think this is going to be
I'm
one
just kidding.
big juicy old episode. Let the people eat cake and root beer floats. Obviously,
Whatever. Who
Yes.
cares? We'll waste their time. What do they got else? They got to do?
I know I don't have anything to do. Anything productive. Anyway, until next time. Peace out.
Later.
Thanks, everybody.